Rab Noakes and Brooks Williams tried to get to the Isle of Man earlier this year, but were beaten by stormy weather and the cancellation of the boat. But this time, they're coming back on an aeroplane, and so all being well, they will make it. And I caught up with Rab just the other day and asked him, first of all, if he'd been to the Isle of Man before.
No, I never have. Only in my head when I used to follow vehicles when I was younger, and of course the TT races was quite big in the world of motorcycles, and so I was always aware of Isle of Man. But no, I never have visited. I'm looking forward to it very much, although it's going to be a little bit of an in and then depart, arrive and depart visit. But I'm really looking forward to it. No, this is my first time.
I mean, it's not that far from Scotland. We're very close.
No, not at all.
I mean,
I don't know why it's never happened. It's just in the way those things are, it never has.
Yeah, I've got friends in the bit of Scotland nearest to the north of the Isle of Man, and if I go up to the north of the Isle of Man, I'm closer to them than I am to my house in the south of the Isle of Man. Literally. So there you go. So tell me about this collaboration, because you've known Brooks Williams for years, haven't you?
Well, he knew of my work. Here's how it happened. He was making a record in Glasgow, in a studio he uses in Glasgow. And they were thinking it would be good to have a male vocalist come and do some harmonies and parts for us here. And two of the musicians working with him, Kev Maguire, bass player, and Stuart Brown, the drummer, both piped up and said that it should get me. And Brooks, his eyebrows raised, said, is he around? Would he come? Because apparently back in the 1980s, Brooks had a cassette of a record of mine called Under the Rain, and he used to sing a couple of songs from that. So he was familiar with my work. So I did, we met and got on well. So the first time we met was just last year. I can't remember exactly when, but earlier in the year, February or something. And I did the little session, and they invited me back for another one, and it was pretty good, I think.
That's the Lucky Star album. Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the one.
Right. Yeah. I do a bit of backing vocal and some hand claps and bits and pieces in there. So as we were talking, we kind of thought, well, do you fancy trying a little collaboration together, two voices, two guitars kind of thing? And so we started to put that together, and we've tried a little songwriting together. That's early stages of that. That's work in progress. And we got the agent to put together some shows for the two of us. And it's really, really good. I'm enjoying a few collaborations at the moment. I go out with Barbara Dixon, who's an old pal of mine. I go out with Jill Jackson. I go out with Rod Clements, bass player from Lindisfarne, who I've known for 50 years now. And the one with Brooks. So they're all very, very interesting. And because I'm essentially a solo artist in the main, it just brings out other dimensions of being able to collaborate to the whole, if you like. And it's really artistically interesting and exciting to do.
Can we just touch on the Distance No Object project that you're working on? Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, we like to stick a tag on things. It's just a bit of branding mentality, if you like. And so as I'm now 72 years old and still willing to get out there and go to whatever nooks and crannies will invite me, we thought Distance No Object in 2019. And that will last for a little while. As long as I'm in good voice, Mark, and still have the energy to make the journeys and essentially also have interesting artistic collaborations like that, then I'll be out there doing it. So it doesn't matter where it is. If you invite me, I'll come.
I love it. Well, listen, we're really looking forward to seeing you together. And are you going to be playing sort of roughly half and half, yours and his, and some are mixed? How's the breakdown of material going to go?
One person leads. It's all collaborations apart from a couple of solo bits, a solo bit each in each set. There are two sets of 45, 50 minutes each. So it just gives it another piece of colour if each of us does a solo bit. But essentially one leads off on the song and the other one is playing more of the contributory part. But it's quite equal, really. You know, when we're playing a song together, it's kind of full on. It's not like, I never agree with that. The backing vocalist is something secondary that's to the side. It's actually right up front there. And a great example of that is if you listen to Everly Brothers records. Phil Everly's voice is always mixed slightly louder than Don's. And that's a lesson. You can learn a lesson from there that backing vocal and that kind of contribution is not a secondary thing. It is actually up there in the front line. So that's the way we construct it, and each of us finds it really quite interesting, I think.
The spell is finally broken. Took a lot of doing. Took a lot of trying to work it out. They say that you've been asking when you come around, but no one's really saying what it's like for me. On the bright side of the blues, since I walked away, on the bright side of the blues, I'm coming through. On the bright side of the blues, no two ways about it. On the bright side of the bright side of the blues. I know that it is painful. I know that you are hurting. Consider this a taste of what you gave to me. But we don't need to play the blame game. It'll only drive us crazy. You say your heart is broken, well mine is on the mend. On the bright side of the blues, since I walked away, on the bright side of the blues, I'm coming through. On the bright side of the blues, no two ways about it. On the bright side of the bright side of the blues. Someone had to stand up in this situation. Someone had to catch that train leaving from this station. On the bright side of the blues, since I walked away, on the bright side of the blues, I'm coming through. On the bright side of the blues, no two ways about it. On the bright side of the bright side of the blues. On the bright side of the bright side of the blues. On the bright side of the bright side of the blues.
Bright Side of the Blues from the Brooks Williams album Lucky Star, featuring Rab Noakes, who was talking to me earlier. Hope you can get to Laxey to see them both. It's going to be a fine, fine night at the Institute. I'm Marc Tyley, and keep coming back for more Greatest Hits podcasts, as you never know who's going to pop up next.